dear W124 friends, fans and owners. This is EHA speaking. And in our current video, we're going to be talking about... My dear, would you please be so kind and hand me over? In this video, we're going to be talking about the EHA, what it is, what it does. We are going to see a short video clip, and I'm going to give you some specifications concerning the EHA. So stay tuned. So, what is the Electro-Hydraulic Actuator? It's the part that makes the ECU orders come true. As we know, this is the fuel distributor, and the Electro-Hydraulic Actuator comes here. It rests like this, here at the fuel distributor. No, we don't need this for now. Okay. If we look close at it, we can see that this is the connection for the current. And here, if you look here closely, you can see here one fuel port, and here's a nozzle. And something more you can see, it's this brass screw. Well, unfortunately I couldn't unscrew it to show you that underneath there is one more screw, Allen 2 mils. With this Allen screw you set the pressure, the differential pressure you set there, or if it has to be higher or lower. You take an Allen key 2 mils, and then clockwise you increase the pressure, counterclockwise you decrease the pressure. Very simple. But remember this, if you have to adjust, to fine adjust that differential pressure, that is 0.4 bar. When you now move the Allen key clockwise for half a turn, clockwise, you will increase the differential pressure for 0.05 bar. And I repeat again, 0.05 bar. For half a turn, you increase then the differential pressure for 0.1 bar, if you have to do that. And I'm very sorry that I cannot unscrew this brass screw here to show you. If you want to set that screw, that Allen screw as you have to, there is one method more. You can take your caliper and you can measure the depth here. The ideal depth is easy to be remembered. It's
6.66.
Well, it's very easy. But you can do it like this. Also, for example, you measure the row pressure, you measure the working pressure, and you have to get the goal of 0.4 bar. And that's pretty much it. Now, as we cannot disassemble this part. There is nothing, there are no screws here to disassemble this, and we don't want to damage it. To show you what's inside, well, I can tell you that inside you have a permanent magnet and an electromagnet. So as the actuator gets the current from the ECU, then this current activates the electromagnet, and then electromagnetic field is being created, and so on and so on. So let me try to explain you. Here you have a nozzle. Look. Yes, this here is a nozzle, and here inside you have a baffle plate. So when you, for example, turn in this Allen screw down there, you move this baffle plate, and it makes more pressure on the differential valves. As it makes more pressure on the differential valves, it closes the passage and it increases the pressure. As the pressure is being increased, then, well, the fuel flow is being decreased, and the result, your car won't be able to go as well as before you did this. So you must know how much you have to adjust this screw here in order for your car to run as it should have to run. Now, why I've been telling you this? I've been telling you this in order to show you and to tell you that when you have a permanent magnet and an electromagnet, that means that a part such like this can never go bad. So if you ask yourselves, can the EHA go bad? The answer is no. You have two magnets, it can never go bad, and literally never. The thing that can go bad, and you can have issues with this little part, is that as it rests here, as you can see, look, you have these two green O-rings. These two green O-rings are something like a gasket, so that when the fuel flows here through the EHA, they are something like a sealant in order for this fuel not to leak. Because then you can have a leaky EHA. That's the issue number one. And the issue number two is that the EHA doesn't get the current it has to get. When it doesn't get the current, then it is either wiring harness or you have a bad ECU. That's everything. Now, why do we need this part at all? This part fine-tunes the stage, not just one, but all the stages through which the engine goes. The first one of them is starting the engine. Phase number 2, warming up. Phase number 3, that's the phase when the engine is warm. Phase number 4, acceleration. Phase number 5, full throttle driving. Phase number 6, cutoff phase. And if in none of these 6 phases, then the engine is in the lambda phase. When the engine is in the lambda phase, then it has to meet all the ecological requirements. It's something, it has to do with the ideal combustion. And you have to understand that the ideal combustion doesn't mean the highest power. If you want a bit more power, then your your mixture must be a bit richer. It's something, let me make you the comparison. That's like if you ate for lunch soup, then you will have the best digestion. But if you work, for example, at the construction, you're going to be hungry in about half an hour if you ate just the soup. But when you have to go to the toilet, then you will have the best then you will have the best combustion, let's say like that, and the stench will be almost non-existent. But now, for example, imagine that you work at a construction and you ate meat for lunch. Then you will manage to work for 3 hours at the construction and you won't be hungry. But when you go to the toilet, then your digestion is gonna be a bit harder and the stench is going to be felt. Okay. A bit of a joke. Now, as for these phases, the first phase we said it's the phase when the engine is started. In the second phase, the CTS enriches the mixture in order for the engine to get to the operating temperature as soon as possible. As the engine is warm, the CTS says to the ECU, okay, the engine is warm, no more enrichment. You have the acceleration phase. That's the phase when you have to overtake someone, a truck, or when you drive uphill, for example. The fifth phase is cutoff phase. That's the opposite. For example, you drive downhill, and now, as you drive, you fully depress the accelerator pedal and you let your engine brake instead of you, and that's the way how you save your calipers. In this video we're going to see how you brake with the engine. I'm gonna drive my W124 downhill and watch at my right foot how I don't brake downhill. And the last phase is the full throttle driving. That is the phase when you flat out. That moment, the TPS is fully open and the TPS sends the signal to the ECU. It says something like now the throttle is fully open. You have to ignore the O2 sensor and its signal. And that's what the ECU does. And in the former phase, cut off, then the throttle is fully closed. As the throttle is fully closed, then the TPS sends a signal to the ECU and it tells it that something like, okay, now the driver is driving downhill and he wants to save fuel. That way the actuator closes fully the passage and gets the mixture and makes the mixture lean to the very limit with a lean mixture. When driving full throttle, the EHA enriches the mixture to the very limit with a rich mixture. And that is how this device fine-tunes the mixture so that the engine can be adapted to every driving conditions. And now I'm going to give you the specifications for the EHA, how you measure it. like this video, then please like it, share it, comment it, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, my dear, please tell them what they should do.
Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we post new videos.
And till the next video, happy Mercedesing.